Hey everybody, my name is Jen and this is Jen Geigley Knits. I hope you're having a good weekend. This week I finally got a little bit of a start on my incredible blanket from Purl Soho using the Linen Quill Minis set, and I'm holding the yarn double. I'm using US 7 needles, and these are the first two colors that I picked randomly out of my warm and cool bags in the last episode. And so I thought I would kind of document the picking of the next colors that I'm going to use. I'm going to try to stay true to the mission and like close my eyes. Hi, Dinah. And not peek, not look, and not overanalyze, because the colors are all supposed to like not go together perfectly. You know, that's what makes it so cool looking. So yeah, my stripes are thicker for sure than the original samples. So it's fun to see what this is going to look like. And there was like a little extra setup row on the border, so the green is a little bit bigger than this orangey peach color. So let's pick the next two colors. Also, I made real makeshift warm and cool tags for my second set of bags. So when I'm done with the color I'm using, I have to put it in another warm and cool bag for the next rounds, because you don't use the whole skein your first round. This stripe is going to show up again, so you put them back in the second set of bags. You don't know what I'm talking about. I explained it in an older episode. There's 4 bags that you set aside for your Linen Quill mini sets, because there is 40 skeins of yarn that you get, and they have you separate it into cool and warm colors. You pick one of each, make 2 stripes, put those used colors in the empty bags, and then keep going from the ones that you're starting with. That was a horrible explanation, but in case you didn't see before, that's what I'm doing. So now I'm picking the next 2 colors out of my 2 IKEA bags. So this is the warm, this is the cool, not gonna peek. Ready? Okay, these are my next 2 colors. That's a fun change. These both, in my mind, would be cool colors, but this was on the warm list for the Purl Soho. I stayed true to their exact list of warm and cool instead of just going by my instinct, because I want it to be even numbers and kind of split the way that they did it in their original. So I'm just gonna go with these, and that's really fun. This is Crocus Bud and Blue Pansy. So that is my next 2 stripes. I think this is going to be a great project to take with me at this point, when I'm still in the beginning of this, to play practice. And this is what I've been waiting for, is like one good project to take with me to play practice, because I'm there twice a week. I need something portable. And now that I have my next colors picked, I think I'm ready to go. Let's put these leftovers in the warm and cool bags, part 2. And yes, of course, my tags are gonna be like a warm yellow and a cool yellow. These are just folded Post-it notes, and I make tags like this all the time when I need to label something. I just literally fold a Post-it note in half so that the sticky part sticks to itself, and then punch a hole. I make like gift tags this way too. But anyway, so now these are labels, so I won't get all mixed up, I don't think. And then, because once they get halfway to halfway, I think these 2 need to be marked, so I know that these are the ones that have been used. At least that's kind of my plan. It still might get confusing. I don't think you can really mess it up though. It's still supposed to be random, and it's fine, and just going with the plan here. So the one little annoying thing that I have to do each time is I do have to find the other end from inside the ball of yarn, which is sometimes a pain with a little blob inside, but it's not a big deal. I'm getting faster at it. And then, as I mentioned last time, Purl Soho did a little tutorial about weaving in your ends as you go. And so you leave very short ends. I think it's only supposed to be 2 inches, and I do a little bit more than that because I'm paranoid, but you do weave them as you go. It works really nicely. I'm trusting them. I don't want to weave this in later, so you just do a little, almost like a weave in Steven, like Stephen West technique. It's very similar to that, and you do that on rows 1 and 3, I believe, to work your ends in, because it's a 4-row repeat, 2 colors, you get the idea. But yeah, that is what I'm doing. Okay, since I couldn't help myself from starting right now, I was gonna save this for play practice. I feel like I need to pick the next 2 skeins too, because I'm gonna finish this blue one in a few minutes. And then I'm gonna wanna start the purple. That is the beauty of this project, because you do not get bored. You wanna start the next color and you wanna see what the next colors are gonna be. So let me pick 2 more from my bags so I can take a few skeins to play practice, and then I'll be better prepared. All right, ready? Shuffling around. Warm, cool. This is starting off very bright. I was kind of hoping for a neutral. I like the weird greens together, and then the blue, I mean, this is kind of gonna be whatever. I'm going with it. And again, cool and warm. They consider this a warm, where I'd still think it was cool too, but I'm just going with it. And now I'm better prepared. Should I pick 2 more? I'll just leave it at that for now, and I'll check back in when I get this far. Okay, doing a little Thursday check-in because a lot has happened since I recorded on Monday. You can see Dinah's up there looking at the birds, looking out the window. If you hear a little tap, it's her tail hitting the blinds. It's so cute. It's her favorite spot. Anyway, Monday, then let's see, Tuesday, you might have seen on the news, Iowa got hit with lots of tornadoes and big storms, and we got hit here by, like, they warned us that it could be almost like the derecho that we had a few years ago, and our derechos now are just kind of like, we get these really high wind, you know, over 100 miles an hour wind that knocks down trees. It gets really scary. It hits really fast, and you never know, is this gonna be like a bad one or an okay one? And we live in a neighborhood with lots of old, beautiful, big trees. And so we always, like, our area seems to always get hit. I don't know if we're like in a weird wind tunnel or something, but Tuesday morning, we started off like waking up with a like tornado storm warning and sirens going off. And Bowie was sick, so he was home from school and hanging out with me, and I'm glad I had him here because he doesn't like storms. So we sheltered in the basement. My daughter was sheltering in the school shelter, and Bo was at work and everything like that. And that one was strong, but not as bad as the second one that day. So we had 2 huge storms in the same day. First one, we lost power, which we do a lot. It sucks. So we lost power the whole day. Then we got it back, and then the next storm hit. So they canceled school, or they let school out early. School dismissed at like 1:30. My husband came home from work. This is stuff we do for snowstorms, like in the winter, but this is a new thing that now we have started doing it for tornadoes and these derecho wind storms that we've been getting. So everybody came home to be ready for the second storm, and then we went in the basement again. It got dark, it got crazy outside, and we could tell this one was worse. And I could hear things just hitting. And it sounds worse in our house, like there's branches hitting our roof and stuff, but it sounds like we've had a big tree fall and narrowly miss our house like not that long ago. And so we're all like a little bit scarred from these storms. And the derecho in 2020 was another one. If you maybe heard on the news, had a really bad storm in 2020 where we lost power for over a week. It might have been close to 10 days, which is no joke. It was a long time. So every time we lose power too, we're very used to like, is this going to be a quick fix, or like, are we going to get our power back in 3, 5, 7 days? So the second time we lost power on Tuesday, so we got it back, Then we lost it again. And poor little Bowie was just like in tears, like, no, you know, and this one did take longer to get our power back. We got it. So overnight, that's always hard when you have to sleep. Some people don't mind it, but when you have kids, I think it's harder to get them to go to sleep when there's nothing, like the house is quiet, everything's pitch black. We're still all kind of scared and tired and stressed, you know. Bo went and helped. We had neighbors with trees down from the second storm. Our whole neighborhood, once we got out and saw the next day, huge trees, narrowly missing houses, some on houses, and a bunch on top that fell on top of power lines. And so that's why we lost, you know, our grid. Our whole neighborhood lost power. So we were out helping and cleaning up debris from our yard. We have big sycamore trees and they have huge branches that just fall. So we were really lucky and didn't have any trees fall, but we had a lot of things to clean up in the back. So Bo and I worked on that. And then Bo helped our neighbors across the street, had 2 trees down. And then when we saw everywhere else, there were even bigger trees, huge trees down, which is just terrifying. But we think everybody in our area is okay. It's not that good of an outcome for Greenfield, Iowa, which has also been on the national news. They got hit really hard where the whole town was just destroyed by the tornado. There's like a path where homes are just completely gone. They found like pieces of mail and things like that, like over an hour away, like 60 miles away in different cities. It had just blown everywhere. And there was like fatalities from that storm. So I don't know. We're in Iowa. We're used to this. I've grown up in Iowa. I'm used to having tornadoes and storms, but nothing like this. Not like 2 in one day, not this strength. Things are definitely changing. And so it really makes us think sometimes like, do we want to live here? I just saw that Iowa has the record in the United States for the most tornadoes this far. I think we have like 78 in 2024 so far. And it's like way above everyone else. So yikes. So that took a big part of our week. It's just like functioning without electricity and trying to make food and clean and like keep everybody happy and then kind of keep our phones charged and something, you know, it's a thing. So that was kind of Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, I was just, we got our internet back after we got our power back. And so yesterday I just worked, caught up on all the internet things that I couldn't do before. You would think I would have tons of knitting time. I did use my Lumos neck light. That is always a lifesaver, even just for walking around the house and like going to the bathroom, to have a hands-free way to have a light. I should have made a video about that like on Instagram because the Lumos light is not just for knitting. It's, you know, kind of for life now. Here. And my kids used it like to walk around too. Like if you're carrying things or something, or, you know, I was bringing food out and I had the neck light so I could see where I was going. But I love that thing. And anyway, I was saying, you would think I would have got a lot of knitting done, but it was just too busy, and the cleanup and the neighbors, we were checking on our neighbors and going to see how they were doing. Bo did a bunch of work with the neighbor guys across the street who are elderly, and we have some other elderly neighbors we always kind of check in on. And he helped them get a big tree off of a driveway, which was a lot of effort. But you kind of have to move fast on this stuff because it's a lot and it takes a lot of time and manpower. But anyway, our other neighbor, these nice ladies that we've talked to probably 20 years, came out with a huge bundle. I'll put a picture in a minute, of rhubarb to they're like, do you want rhubarb? And I do. So this giant armload of rhubarb, it was like a bouquet, and gave that to us. And so if I have time, I'm going to try to make some little rhubarb crisps and take it to the neighbors that we were all helping out with. But we'll see, because tomorrow, so today's Thursday. I don't even know if I have all my days straight. Tomorrow, Friday, this is why I'm making a video now, is we're supposed to get another storm tomorrow. Like, you're kidding me. And so I don't know if we'll have power tomorrow. So I'm making a video today just in case, because nobody knows. Like, some of them are not a big deal and we're fine. And some of them are way scarier and worse than we thought. So anyway, that's enough about the storms. I'm sorry. That's just like, it's been kind of taking over our time this week. So I don't have a lot of knitting updates that I thought I would by this time in the week. I still am at this point in my blanket. This looks so funny. It looks like a little doily or something like my grandma used to make. Those little, do you remember the dolls with the spiral legs and a plastic face and a bonnet? If you're a certain age, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. She made them like the 70s and 80s maybe as like a little home decor thing. I don't know, this just reminded me sort of of that. But yeah, I'm still in that blue stripe that I ended up with on whatever day that was. And so it'll go this color, then this color, then this color, then this color next. And we have play practice tonight, which was canceled from Tuesday with storms. So hopefully I'll get a couple rows done tonight at play practice. Maybe. They're taking measurements tonight for costumes, which is really exciting. And yeah, but we got that part that he really wanted. We got really excited for him and he's just really stoked. So we have lots of practices coming up to learn his part and to help with all that. So that's exciting. And then today, like I don't have anything else going on, I did cast on for the Andrea Renee Knits Andrea Mowry Traveler's Hat Knit Along. Because what else am I gonna do? It's an interesting little hat. Some people I read are kind of funny about the shape on top because it is a little different, but this goes along with her Traveler's shawl, her Traveler hoodie. I can't remember, there's like a whole bunch of Traveler patterns that she's made. So this is the hat. And I figured I could knock out a worsted weight hat this weekend just for fun. It is fun to kind of get something finished. And this motivates me to, knit a thing, even though I have other things I'm working on. But I already had some Brooklyn tweed shelter in my stash, and that's what she used for one of her samples. And it's in this awesome, Jen yellow color called Pollen. This is Brooklyn tweed shelter. I think I just said that. So I just started the ribbing. Today's cast on day, and I think there's like 6 inches of ribbing to start out with. So I'm just working on that, whenever. So I did do that. And then this weekend, I have some really fun plans with one of my best friends. We're gonna have kind of almost like a staycation. We just need to catch up and have time together. So my birthday's in May and hers is in June. And so we're gonna go downtown and hang out and like have a little staycation where we just stay locally, but like away from our families and kids and everything. And I feel like I kind of need that after this week because Bowie was really sick and I was just like staying up all night helping him for a few nights. Then we had this storm thing and the power outages and all the stress. So I'm hoping there's nothing too catastrophic that happens tomorrow because I want to enjoy Saturday and Sunday with my friends, which it'll be, we can handle it. We got it covered. But that's what I'm doing this weekend. And I hope I have some knitting time then, like when we chill at night, because she's a knitter too. So we'll see. Anyway, that's what I have going on this weekend. And then I was also thinking with the Traveler Hat project that I'm working on, I was looking at that pattern. I really like the textures in that pattern. And so then I was thinking maybe I do want to make a Traveler shawl as well. And I think, I don't know, I'm thinking about doing it in Modern Daily Knitting Atlas because I have, what is this color called? Truffle. I have like 6 skeins of this in my stash already that I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. I think it was intended for a sweater that I changed my mind on. I couldn't decide, but I think that shawl would be really pretty in this. I love this yarn. I love how it feels. And I think it's the right weight. I think she has 2 sizes of that where you can use different weights of yarn. Same thing with the Traveler Hat. There's like a fingering weight version. Some people have used sport weight and then you can do the worsted weight. Same thing with the Traveler shawl. You can do a worsted weight larger version. And I saw the Ritual Dyes sample from the Traveler shawl and it looked almost like this. It was more of a gray, but it was in a solid. And some people do like the spin cycle or the hand spun where it changes colors. But I think I would really like it in this nice solid. This color is so pretty in person because it's like not a navy and not a black. It's kind of both. It's a very me color and it's also Kay Gardner. Like we both really gravitate towards this like navy black, like whatever it is. So this is called Truffle, Modern Daily Knitting Atlas. I've had a lot of knits that I've made out of this and I've made 3 sweaters out of this. So I think a shawl would be a nice departure and kind of a nice like whenever I have time project, which is also, you know, the Purl Soho blanket and the other things I have cast on right now. But I don't know. Again, I'm feeling all over the place, but I feel like I want to knit all the things. And I feel like sometimes the only way to do that is to jump in and cast on a bunch of things and work on them all at the same time. Probably not the smartest plan, but I can't really stick to one thing at a time because I'm also designing stuff that you aren't seeing here. And I want to do fun knitting too, so I try to balance it all together. I also did a whole bunch of sketches today for a fun project that's coming up with Madeline Tosh. I had a fun feature in like this little article they wrote up about me in Farm and Fiber Knits. It's a new publication that was just like an online publication, but now is going to be print. And I have designed 3 things for them, and maybe there's going to be a 4th. That's all like, some of this hasn't happened yet. It's like in the future, or I've knit it, designed it, and it's not out yet, but 2 things that are out. I've finished. I'm very like, what am I trying to say here? Sorry, it's like so rambly, but I've made a hat for them, and that big blue Loon Lake scarf that I did, I guess it was last year. These things, it's like I forget when I knitted them and when they actually were released. But anyway, really cool, fun publication. Their patterns are exclusively through them, so they're not like a Ravelry pattern. It's through their publication, and it's like an online thing and a print thing, and they're kind of expanding and doing more. But anyway, they wrote a really cool feature about me and kind of my influences, and it turned out really fun. They were kind of talking about how I would like go to punk concerts, and then I was also like influenced by my grandma's crafting and sewing and crocheting with her as a kid. And I'm from a very small town, so they talk about like my farm and fiber roots, but I also have like a little bit of edge from like my musical taste and stuff. And now my daughter's in a band, and I actually just got a drum set for my birthday, so we're kind of starting like maybe a little family band in the basement because my husband plays guitar and I play guitar, and Bowie's like on the verge of drums or bass or something. So anyway, musical influence plus like farm, home, wool, homemade influence kind of mashed up into whatever comes out of my brain. Anyway, that is kind of what's going on today. I'm hoping to go do a few more rows on this, especially at play practice tonight. Traveler hat whenever I get time. This is actually maybe a good thing for play practice because ribbing is so easy and I don't have to look at anything. So we'll see what happens. I'm not making any big promises for this week because I'm just very discombobulated and kind of already nervous for storms tomorrow, but maybe it's not a big deal. You just don't know if it's going to go around us or right through our city. It's like really unpredictable, but I'm kind of preparing already and charging things up and getting stuff ready just in case. Now we're kind of fresh from the preparation mode and the survival mode. And we're so lucky compared to some of the people who just lost everything. So I can't even complain. Losing power is nothing compared to losing your home and your belongings and everything you had. And so my heart goes out to all the people in Greenfield, Iowa, where it's just unbelievable, the photos that are coming out and the stories in the news. So I'm so sorry to those who've lost so much. And I'm grateful that my neighbors are okay and that we're okay and that none of us had a tree on top of our house or, you know, worse stuff can happen. So grateful that everything's okay and this beautiful weather. Like right after the storm, it'll be sunny and gorgeous. And you're just like, what was that? It's just total whiplash of your emotions. So anyway, I'm gonna go analyze my knitting and figure out what I need to do next and make a plan, do whatever I can. And maybe I'll share a little update tomorrow. Hopefully everything goes good and we have power and everything. But if not, this is what you get this week. I had a little bit of free time before I picked the kids up from school, which is so nice and so quiet and peaceful with just me and Dinah here. But our days like this are numbered because summer break starts really, really soon. And then it's like another type of fun and, you know, kids here all the time. So it'll be very different very soon. But I did get a chance to finish my little lavender stripe and now I'm onto this blue stripe. And then I have a green stripe coming up next. And then I have play practice tonight. So I figured I should pick more colors right now. And I'm going to pick 4 more because it's nice to have them all in that other, I have like a separate project bag just for this. And then I've got my warm and cool bags, which is working really well so far. So that's like been a good system. And I'm hoping, kind of hoping I get some neutrals coming up because I feel like I have all brights so far and I'm afraid of hitting a section where I'm all neutral. Probably won't happen, but I don't know. I don't want like a whole bunch of grays and neutrals all of a sudden. So we'll see what I get here. Okay, so I'm gonna mix these up. Make sure they don't fall off my lap. And cool, warm. Okay, that's fun. I got my neutral. That's a good thing. And mix up. Cool, warm. That's okay. That's a good change up of like the direction we were going. This is like a lot of, it's still bright, but like I've got one neutral in there, so that's good. So it'll be these two, then these two. Next up on the Incredible blanket. It's really fun. Like now I get how, and with the yarn held double, the rows do not take that long. I'm hoping that I measured correctly and that this is like 60 inches wide. I won't be able to tell for a little bit, but I think I'm good. But look how fun. Every stripe is just another fun little, it doesn't take very long and then you're switching colors again. And so I'm loving this so far and I'm totally taking this to play practice tonight and we'll see how far I get. All right, it is Friday and I'm so tired because we did have more storms really kind of overnight and really early this morning. So we woke up at 5 a.m. to a tornado warning and super scary loud winds and then rain and stuff. And I was going to just like try to sleep through it and not get the family up to go to the basement again. But then I heard like a tree crack and that falling sound and I was like, nope, gotta go. So we woke everybody up at 5 a.m. in the dark and went down to the basement and it's just the safe thing to do. So we were responsible and we went down there and then the storm was moving pretty fast. So we didn't have to stay down there too long, but we did bring all our blankets and pillows and just laid down there. We have a finished basement with carpet and couches and, you know, comfy environment. So it's not a big deal to go down there. It's just like disruptive to sleep. But we, it was another strong storm. There was tornadoes kind of around our city and maybe on the east side of the city. I have to even look and see what all happened. I'm not even sure. But like I woke up and our radio station was out. Our school, two of our schools closed. So I've got Bowie at school. Lotus is home. She went to her high school and got sent home because the power was out at her school. And so we're still just a little bit out of sorts, but what a week, honestly. And I'm sorry if you're tired of hearing all the weather drama, but it's just been like, I don't know what's going on. And it's like hard to focus, I think. But I have a fun weekend ahead and it will be restful and it's a long weekend. So happy long weekend if you're in the same boat. I'm glad we all need a little break and a little reset, I think. So yeah, next week is my kids' last week of school. We have a little 6th grade graduation and just finishing things up and headed into summer break. So that will be interesting and different. And I'm looking forward to it. We need a little shift in our schedule, so it'll be good. So last night I got a little bit done on my Incredible blanket and I got a little bit done on my hat knit along as well. So I took this to the play practice and here's my little ends I have to deal with still, but you can see kind of the fun juxtaposition of the different colors, like sort of these neons and then like almost a scummy green next to this neon green. And that's where it gets interesting is, you know, the random colors that are coming up. Even in the sample blanket, it's really fun and interesting to see all the colors next to each other. So I'm really excited to keep continuing with these stripes because they're very, very fun. Each one is just a little adventure and I love it. So I'm putting these two back in their cool and warm bags, even though they're still both cool to me. This was the warm, this was the cool for these two stripes. Then I do have these next, and then these. So I didn't get that far. I really thought I would, but then, you know, things got busy and then storms again. And then, you know, just life and stuff. But let me tell you, if you're in a city or a state or whatever that gets hit by storms a lot, this comes in handy for more than knitting for sure. Wow, I have used the heck out of my knitting light, even more than usual, just to get around the house when we've had all these power outages, to be hands-free and be able to walk around the house and grab the kids or grab our stuff and go down to the basement and have light so I can see. This light has like saved our lives. And the kids can take it, like they have to go to the bathroom or they have to go to this room or whatever. And you have like the candles and stuff going, but this can come with you and you don't have to hold it. You don't have to hold a flashlight and everything else. So this Lumos knitting light, which I shared, there was a code for Mother's Day. It was on sale and a bunch of you got one. So thanks for using that, by the way. Thanks for the support, because I got a little commission off of that, which was really awesome. But this knitting light is awesome, and just always keep it charged and ready because it'll come in handy in all sorts of situations. So that was super nice this week. And then I will show you, it's not very exciting, but I did get a little further on my Andrea Mowry knit along traveler hat. This is my bag that I got in Kansas City a couple weeks ago at the Knitting in the Heartland event. And so this is my first ball of Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in this awesome color called Pollen. It is a very Gen yellow, yellowy green yellow. And I think I have 1 more inch left. I think I have to get to 6 inches for the size I'm making. And then I get to start the Traveler pattern, which is kind of a garter ridge with some, it's like 4 little seams that narrow to the top. And I'm hoping to finish it by Monday, and that's when the knit along ends and that we're all sharing online with the hashtag and everything. So we'll see. I just have 1 inch left on this, and then I can do like the fun part. So, and she was saying with this size, with the worsted pattern size, you actually don't have to switch needles because the next stitch pattern is wide. And so it evens out. You don't have, which is kind of nice not to have to change needles in the middle of your project. So you just get to continue and keep going. So that makes it speedy too. And I think I'll be able to finish it by Monday. I hope. So that's fun. And that's really, is there anything else I have going on? I have been watching, and thank you everyone who suggested sewing patterns for my IKEA fabric. Let me go get it and I'll show you again. I know you've probably seen it last time, but in case you haven't, I have this awesome IKEA fabric that's kind of a heavier, almost canvas upholstery weight. But lots of you had really cool ideas of what I could maybe make with it. A lot of people said overalls, a lot of people said jacket, and a lot of people said pants and skirts. So I really do like the pant and skirt idea. I would love to make a jacket. I would love to make overalls. And then one person suggested this pattern called the easy pants. And it's these structured pants that look like very like a pant, but they actually have elastic on the inside and they're very adjustable, which kind of works like when you change weight a little bit up and down, it works with you. And the person who made them on the video said they were extremely comfortable. So that's really tempting too. I would love to do something kind of weird and wacky with this. So thank you for sending all those patterns. It kind of opens some doors because I'm a little bit less informed in the sewing world of like who's cool, who are the cool pattern makers and companies and all that stuff. So this opened my eyes to new YouTubers, which are really, really fun, and like pattern companies and all different things. So I've been going down the rabbit hole of all the things. So please keep sharing the sewing patterns that might be good for this heavier IKEA fabric. And then I do still think I'm going to make the long sundress out of the yellow bedding. Well, I'm going to try that first. And if I don't like it, I'll do a heavier one. I'm still figuring that out. But I was hoping I would have time to cut out all the pieces and get that all going. But it just didn't happen this week because it's understandable. The storms seriously took over everything. It's such a bummer. But I'm getting closer to like finding a solution and a decision for what to do with all of this. I do think I'm going to keep one big piece as a tablecloth for now and then make a garment with the other one. Maybe 2 garments with the other one. We'll see depends on what I choose to make, or a bag, or all 3. But anyway, that's where I am with the sewing. I really hope to get into it soon. It's just, I don't know. And then it's hard also when the kids come home from school too. It kind of throws a, kink in our time. And I don't know, we take some time to adjust every year to the summer schedule, where they come off this real rigid school schedule to like our kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a more fluid schedule during the summer, but we still have one. Like Bowie has all these play practices, and he has a little bit of summer school that they're asking him to do. He's not gonna like that. Lotus has band practice and all these performances, and she has a job. And so it's gonna be busy, but there'll be time in there, I think, for me to maybe do some things. And I'm hoping I can still continue to YouTube every Saturday. I've been sharing a video every Saturday all year. I haven't missed one yet, but the summer could kind of mix things up, so we'll see. But I would still like to keep going with that. We'll just have to see if there's maybe kids in the background doing whatever. You'll understand, but that's all I have for this week. Thanks for hanging out with me. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I love reading your comments, so thank you for engaging and talking to me in the comments. I love talking back and forth about all your ideas and suggestions and stuff like that. I hope you're having a nice long weekend, a relaxing one, and I hope the weather is good where you are. I think our weather is clearing up for this weekend, so I'm a little bit less worried and stressed about that, so it should be good here. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I have more videos just like this in a playlist called Knit With Me, so if you want to watch more, there's a lot more that are similar to this if you're bored. And thanks so much. I will see you in the next one. Bye.